Welcome to the Question Just Quiet Hour. We're just gonna sit here and meditate.
This is
Who's doing
unusual
last
for
minute
us.
prep? Not me. I know. It's a calm day. All right. That bodes well for me, I think. That means you aren't going to do as many shenanigans and I have everything prepared exactly as I need,
You
right?
can never prepare for my shenanigans.
Yeah, I was worried about that part. All right. Let's get started, shall we? Hopefully everybody's doing all right. Shock, you good?
Yep. I think I'm in everywhere.
Perfect. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining us on episode 57 of Herald of Rain, where we shall continue the journey. For today, we'll do a couple of announcements. We are Quest and Jess. If you don't know, we are a small little channel of international friends, and we stream D&D 2 times a week, today, and also on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be streaming our Rise of the Everchosen campaign. So if you like a little bit of that Warhammer fantasy heroic group trying to avoid the apocalypse that is coming for us all, come and say hi. We'd appreciate it. You can also check out our YouTube. That's where we upload all of our VODs, so if you missed anything, you can go and watch it there. Second announcement, we are still raising money for Extra Life over this way. 103 raised, we are at 364. Let's get that to a nice round 400 if we can in the next few days. If you've got extra money, it goes to the children in Mac Children's Hospital in Hamilton, Ontario, and we are part of the Goblin Tuesday team for Extra Life, where we're raising money for a whole bunch of stuff, so glad to have you with us. Thank you to everybody who's donated so far. It also helps you unlock little like character stuff. If you want an NPC, if you want to give inspiration to anybody in the party, you can do that using the link in chat right now. Also, side projects. Azrael does TikTok, so go ahead and check out his TikToks right there. And Springer does hand-forged knives, which are extremely, extremely pretty. Like, gorgeous. And on our Discord, he updates us on his latest and greatest. And also all the other side shenanigans that come from blacksmithing. It's extremely fun, so go check us out on Discord as well. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
I think we're good.
Look at that. Efficiency. Perfect. Who would like to do a recap? For the lovely one inspiration, or does nobody need it? Is everybody good? I can do the recap.
I already have
Think?
inspiration.
Yeah.
I think everybody does. Perfect. Well, in that
we-
case, I'll take the
we-
DM's inspiration.
I mean, we have a lot of, bare bones, normal humies in the party, so everybody gets
That's
it.
true.
It's like
that part.
Oprah. You get inspiration. You get inspiration. You get
inspiration.
inspiration.
Everybody gets an inspiration. Look
They
under
should have
your
added
feet.
a little. Should have added a little asterisk addition to that. It expires at the end of the day or something.
It's like, everybody look under your seats and you'll find a flute for bardic inspiration.
Okay, Oprah, calm it down. Let's do a little recap on last episode of Herald of Rain. The party was at a caravanserai, surviving an assassin attack. Nobody was too badly injured. They then decided to brutally ensure that none of the assassins returned to life. They're learning, guys. I'm so proud. But this very much disturbed Galen a little bit, just to see you guys curb stomping already dead and defeated bodies.
Who never asked why?
We never explained.
Hey,
But
something to
yeah,
consider.
but I
Something to
just think it's
consider.
hilarious because it's like, this is so crazy, but I'm not gonna ask you why you did it.
I mean, the man was in shock. He just
he had a-
assassins after his ass.
Yeah, exactly. And he had other things on his mind.
He had lots of things on his mind. Speaking of other things, Galen, upon realizing that maybe they could have been after something, rushed back to his room, and he and Derek, who followed after him, had a little domestic, had a little spat about some item that he carried. Yeah. And meanwhile, Fenric was downstairs collecting blood of the already dead Hashashin because there's more ways to desecrate a body, and we will find all of them. And he discovered an interesting little find that the blood itself seemed to carry trace of a particular magical energy signature. They then decided to take their rest since it was still at night, Nikumund deciding to forego their rest to diligently keep guard at Galen's door like a loyal hound. In the morning, Fenric decided to ask their resident old Yoda, Alistakri, for his insight on the magical blood. And they came to realize that the blood had the same magical signature as the vials that they had found on Bungu and the Hellhound that they had fought before. And so they put their heads together and recalled an encounter in the sewers of Samarkand way back when, where they had come across two bestial rat people who had become drugged or hungover or something of the sort on this strange silvery liquid. Aryun then had the bright idea of trying the assassin blood on the alchemist lantern, which seemed to have worked so far, and it did work. And Galen is once again terribly disturbed by the entire party seeming to go into a collective trance. And meanwhile, the party had this extremely exciting vision of young assassin kids being raised in a stone building, learning the ways of the Hashashin, Hassan Sabah showing his face in the background menacingly. And then we saw a group of these Hashashin watching a bunch of knights marching through a valley. And over time, we see how they sabotaged and killed off the members of this knight order until there was only one left, Galen, which possessed a relic that they wished to obtain for their teacher, Hassan Sabah. And their plan was to wait until he reached civilization, let his guard down, and then snatch it from him. Which leads us back to that attack at the caravanserai. As they come out of their hallucination, Galen decides now's a good time to reveal his whole, with his bestie Matthew dying, who had a sort of mission to protect a relic that was then passed on to him. They decide to inspect this relic, cautiously at first. It definitely was not Latin in origin, so it didn't really match up with what it should be, but it seemed to have an older origin, Persian, Zoroastrian. Fenric decided to translate the phrase and said it out loud, and at once the cup filled with clear magical liquid, kind of like water, lost its properties once it left the cup. Clearly, having done their experimentation for the day, they continue onwards to Baghdad, and they finally reach it several days later. At that point, they wander through the city, experiencing the delights. They choose a nice inn to set up in, luxury, of course, only the best for our party, and they do a few other bits of things here and there with their first night in the city, and that is where we will get back with Le Party.
Well, we got a good deal
In
because we
Baghdad.
name dropped the Sultan.
You
That's
did
true.
get a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
There's benefits to knowing people like the Sultan of the Caliphate. Who would have thought?
Who'd have known?
Who would have thought? But as evening sets, I think last we left off, Nikuman had just chosen to bathe in a public river and was heading back, and then a few others were coming back from shopping around.
Yep.
Derek also wanted to do
Wash-
his underhanded finding bad people
Yes.
things.
That is true. Let's get on with that. Derek went out into the night. Derek, give me a little description. Where does he start? Where does he go first to find his sources?
That's a good question.
Oh,
I need to pull up to find what I'm looking for.
you do that. I will pull up some decent music.
The first one is he's looking for like a corrupt official. I'd say there he's starting at the most reasonable places to look, which is brothel.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, you do know from your friends having returned that the Bazaar of Baghdad is right next to you, or you could try further in the city walls itself, if you want to. There is another big market-esque, the Bab al-Sham. Where would you like to go?
Yes.
Thank you. Where do you want to go first, my good friend?
We've never done this part before. We've always just said, okay, here's the information. Because he goes off
Well-
into the city, he fucks off. I'm not a super spy. I don't know where to look.
Figure it out. Figure it out. Get in character, put the mask on.
You already named it.
Yeah, he's gonna go find I don't know, like go to the seedy part of town. How seedy is parts of Baghdad?
There's a few. I guess if you want, you can head to parts of the bazaar and see if there's any late night establishments, or you can head towards this corner, the western corner, and see. It seemed to have more of the slums and the like.
Sure, let's do that.
Take your token wherever you want to go. I gave you two options. Make a fucking choice, alright.
Every other city we've been to, it's like, here's the gold. I spent an hour in the city.
We can't let you get too comfortable. Switch things up
Yeah, you
every now
can.
and then. I'm telling a story here, mister. Anyways, you walk through the slums of Baghdad at night. Are you wearing your mask or just your cloak?
No.
Are you dressed as a tailor or as an inconspicuous figure?
No, he keeps to his usual conspicuous
Conspicuous, alright.
nature.
Mr. Conspicuous walks through the western part of Baghdad. You pass by several establishments. You don't pass by a brothel this side of town, but you do see what looks like an inn where they have tables that sort of extend even outwards onto what would have been the street during the day, but now are just sort of like ramshackle wooden tables sort of set up, and there's lots of people being drunk and stuff, and maybe nearby ladies from the brothel, ladies of night, wandering from an establishment nearby, hanging around this sort of area. Certainly seems to have what you're looking for. Vibes, at least. You wander up. Would you like to get a drink?
Sure, like yeah.
Embody Derek, so help me God, we're gonna RP
You know what?
this.
You know what? No. If this I've got nothing planned for any of this. No, just skip it. It's not.
We're
worth it.
improving. Nope, we're
Nope.
working together.
Nope.
I think you forget who's in the DM seat here, Derek.
No.
Derek
let's
walks
just, let's just move on.
In a
fine.
bright pink tunic, and he orders a drink at no one's inn. And there's this particular man next to him. What with ink stains all over his fingers, he's got some sort of fine garb. And he's sort of slurring his words, and you saddle up next to him at the bar. This guy eventually introduces himself after drunkenly slurring at you for a while, and you manage to drunkenly slur back, or fake enough of it, that you find out his name is Mahmoud Ibn Umar, and he works as a district inspector of the city, and he sort of enforces public order. So someone with a lot of access to buildings, perhaps, some official documents. I'll post the name in chat for you. And he seems to be a very gossipy sort. He loves talking about his coworkers, about goings-on, anything to make him look cool in front of this random stranger that he just met. And that, if you want to drop a bit of gold, can become your contact in the city.
Get you buying friends.
It's the best way to make friends.
Derek is a money dropper.
Huh?
Clearly. Why can't I post? Oh my god, okay. I did it dumb. Why are you making my text weird? I can't read it. There you go. So make sure you move your 40 gold. You make friends with this guy, you find out where he works, his office. He has found his new soulmate. And you eventually wander back to the old stag for the night. It's a nice, quiet night in the city. As you're walking back, Derek, with your passive perception of 20, I'd say you notice there is a certain energy about the city, aside from where the locals have clearly gone to sort of the outskirts, the sides of the city. There seem to be wagons and carts with people in uniforms almost that are traversing through the city late at night, heading with purpose, with intention somewhere. And there's rather a lot of them. Anything you want to do?
No, just make a note of it and keep heading back.
All right. You head back to the Old Stag. Take your long rests if you haven't already, and a new day
If I
begins.
did or not.
That's
Do
okay.
it anyway.
Just check everything. A new day rises, and you wake up whenever you want to. You head down for breakfast, where there is a bit of a hubbub. Here in the dining hall, there seems to have been something going on. If anybody wants to listen.
Nikoman's gonna see how many women are kind of staring at him.
Insight check.
Am I rolling perception to listen?
Yes, please.
9. Oh no, 14.
Yep, that's a 9 insight.
Okay. 9 insight from Nickman. Nickman, it's not just the women, it's the men too. Everybody's looking at you. Maybe you have something, some sort of charisma about you. Maybe you could work with that. You seem like a pretty popular figure.
Well, Nikoman will kind of fluff up his beard a little bit, and he'll
Clean from yesterday.
very clean for the first time in a long time, and he'll go over to, if there's just a table of just women, he'll go over to that table.
We'll say that there is. Hello, Lily. Welcome in. Nickman, you walk up to this table of what look like 3 or 4 women, some with headscarves, some without, that just seem to be having their morning tea, that look like they're travelers from some other place in the city, and they all sort of look up at you as you come to their table. What do you want to do?
Please, I'll say, please forgive this traveling northern barbarian. As I'm sure you know, fresh moving water is perfect for bathing, but apparently it's frowned upon in places like this. I would like to extend my apologies. My name is Nikomund.
Very nice to meet you, Nikomund. And you see one lady, a little bit older, she's got like salt and pepper hair going on, but her face is still like very well maintained. Clearly some sort of noble or someone who doesn't see a lot of harsh work. Nice to meet you, Nikomund. And she sort of puts her hand on her heart in sort of greeting. It's a pleasure.
Me and my friends only got in late last night, and we were just wondering if you knew of what's happening in the city. Any rumors or any weird things?
Oh, yes, of course. It is big news. You see, she sort of pulls a chair or a stool from a nearby table and sort of drags it over. And then she pats it to sort of ask you to sit down a little coyly.
Nikoman will
Have a
sit down.
seat, please. And she turns to you. Well, rumor has it that, well, it's been going on for a few days now, but the Caliph is about to set march with the army of the city. They have been preparing for days. There's quite a buzz. Some people are worried, some people are in support. Lots of doubters, I'll tell you that.
What are the people doubting? That it's going to happen? Or.
Well, if the Caliph leaves the city, and who is there to manage? He is going to fight, to war? They get scared. What happens if the Caliph dies in this war? I mean, God forbid.
Oh,
It would leave the city unstable, no?
yeah. Yeah, well, there's instability going around. We were coming from the east, and it's just crazy out there.
Oh, did you see the horde yourself? Did you run away from them?
We saw little bits and pieces of them. But yes, we ran so fast.
You must be so terrified. Come, let us get you a cup of tea and some biscuits. You see, she sort of waves over a servant, plying you with food and tea on her purse.
Sure.
And the other ladies are sort of just like twittering and like as if they're like her little minions, sort of just hanging around. They all like nod, laugh at the appropriate times, stuff like that.
And what was your name? I didn't get you, lovely ladies' name.
Hold on. Aisha Al-Shahan. Nice to meet you.
Is that a name I recognize at all? Of important noble or anyone I've heard of before?
It doesn't, not when, like, for example, in Alstakri might have talked to you about like big families in the city. Nothing sort of note. Maybe she's a middling noble of importance or someone related to someone else, kind of thing.
Just
Nothing
curious.
that sort of.
Well,
You see, she's perfectly willing to chat with you for as long as you want to stay there.
Nickman will keep chatting for a while, and mostly just about. Nickman will ask, so, I know the Sultan is back east in Isfahan. Who is running the city? Does he have a lieutenant or general?
How do you mean? The city here?
Yes.
The city has the Caliph, of course. He maintains order over this entire city under the authority of the Sultan. On behalf of the House of Wisdom as well.
But I mean, what is the Caliph's name?
I don't want to get it wrong. I have so many notes, hold on. Perfect time for everything to lag. Are there any other names that you're trying to ask her, important nobility, beyond like the Caliph? She'll tell you that she also knows some other important people. She has attended tea with the Caliph's wife before. If you want, get a whole bunch of names. Let me know right now.
Sure. Well, Nikoman is asking because it was his idea that as well as going to the House of Wisdom, they should at least visit the palace and like present themselves and offer services and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, for the Caliph's name, you find out that it is Caliph al-Zahir. Put it in chat as well, and his wife, whose name I shall find shortly.
Sure.
Did she say that that person is leaving?
Yes, he is leading the army of Baghdad to go assist the Sultan in his assault on the castle. Alamut, apparently. The wife's name is Hayat Johar Khatun. The Johar Khatun. That is the wife of the Caliph. And you do know that you get the date that the Caliph is planning to leave tomorrow morning with the army. They're beginning to march out.
And you said the Caliph is from the House of Wisdom.
I would, how do I say this? The Caliph is probably elected or sort of informed by a council from the House of Wisdom. Yeah. So the Caliph is a power, the Emperor is a distant power, the House of Wisdom is like trusted intellectuals within the city. They are also a source of power.
Got it. All right. Well, as the conversation's winding down, Nikoman will take out 3 butterfly statues that he's carved himself and he's had for a while, and he'll give each of the ladies a butterfly.
They sort of titter at delight at the gifts.
Well,
Lagging so bad.
me and my friends will be at least here in the old stag for several days more, but we're going to be running around the city accomplishing things. So if you need us for any reason, you can reach out to me, Nikamund, or to the rest of the Sultan's 5 rings.
Oh, such famous people, of course. Thank you for the invite. And you can also let us know if you need anything. If anybody gives you trouble in the city, you let us know, and we'll help you out. I know many important people in the city.
One last question. Would there be one of the rivers or tributaries, a place I could bathe without getting in too much trouble?
Certainly. Well, you'd have to go out of the city a little bit to one of the tributaries. The River Tigris has many divides, smaller rivers coming off of it.
All right, well, I'll keep an eye out. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Don't forget. Let us know if you need any help.
And Nikoman will get up and go back to the rest of the group and relay all the information he's gathered.
Mm-hmm.
So, I still think with the army leaving tomorrow, we should visit the palace first.
Good idea. What did I hear?
What did you hear? You hear some of what look like 2 or 3 older men sort of discussing military tactics, maybe former retired veterans or something. You hear them discussing, well, if they sort of discuss that got to explain military tactics now. Okay. The Sultan is going to siege the Castle Alamut, and it has been found out that Hulagu and the Khaganate are coming after him, and so the Caliph and his army are coming to make sure that the Horde doesn't catch up to the Emperor, and he has a chance to go and attack Castle Alamut, essentially. That's the plan.
I will relay that to the group.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. We should definitely go talk to the palace people. And we also need to help. Sorry, what's your name again?
Whose name? Alistakri?
No.
That's Nikomund. He's been with us for a while.
No, the other one. Sorry,
what?
I
Knight.
totally forget your character's name.
Galen?
Galen.
Yes, my lady.
We also need to help you with your thing.
Yes, yeah, that would be helpful. But I think I will start with the barracks and report in there and maybe find a lead. Hopefully.
Where are the barracks?
I'd say they are close-ish to the palace.
Okay.
Let's say somewhere. Say somewhere. Somewhere to this side of town. Up here, maybe.
The west side? Okay.
Do you want me to label it?
Yeah, you can, but we'll ask someone on the way.
Sure. There you can find the barracks. Of course, there's more outside of town.
Mm-hmm.
This is just where the main people sort of gather.
All right, so Palace first, Barracks second, House of Wisdom third.
Sure.
All right. You have your plans. You head out after breakfast to the palace. How do you go about it? Are you gonna just walk up to the guards at the front, tell them you have an appointment?
Well, Nikoman will send Derek up first. Say, we are the Five Rings of the Sultan Jalal ad-Din. We should be able to get right in the front door. Someone presents one of their signet rings, Derek.
That would be the plan. Just hello. This ring says I can do anything I want. Well,
Aryun is like totally down for showing her ring.
Okay.
She loves her ring.
perfect.
Secret to
I love.
codes.
I
So
love how
you just ride up to the front gate and show the ring.
Basically, can we talk to people?
Okay.
I love
The
how
rest?
Nikoman's like, I think we can get in if somebody shows them one of our rings, right, Derek? Go on.
Well, Derek, you always get mad when I talk to the nobles. Apparently, I do something I shouldn't do, and then
I don't get mad. I get mad when it goes poorly.
all right, perfect
So it
chance.
sounds like that
Lead us
happens a
off.
lot, then.
It never happens, or it always happens. One or the other. 60% of the time, it happens all the time.
Sounds about right.
I see.
Did we lose Fox?
That's what I was gonna say.
Seems like.
I
I
just
noticed
lost Fox.
she seems to have
Yeah,
dropped.
crash of Wi-Fi.
And crash of Wi-Fi.
Mhm. Well, guys, I guess it's time to plot.
While she's not here.
The plot's
Yeah,
like my
I'm
Steve
sorry, I'm
Dickens.
really bad at names.
Oh, no worries.
Galen, right? Galen?
Galen. Galen.
Galen. Galen,
Why do you
Galen, Galen.
Why do you think I'm saying milady?
That's a good one. Oh, man.
I thought you just kept going with it to like dig
Oh.
that knife, and she said, "Don't call me that." You're like, "I'm gonna keep pressing that button."
I have some manners, and you're a woman, and women are ladies, so that's how that works. You can decide you're not one, but I'm gonna keep calling you.
Oh, that's funny.
Although honestly, I've in my personal life I do something similar. If I've known someone for a while and I can't think of their name, and I've known them long enough that I should know their name, and it's now impolite to ask, they are henceforth known as Bud. Nothing but Bud. They'll walk in and be like, "Hey Donnie, how's it going?" All the way like, "Hey Bud, how you doing?"
Yep.
Valid. No, yeah, for me, usually, like, it'll either stick, or it'll take me, like, 6 times to finally figure out, like, yes, your name was this.
Yeah, I'm just really bad with names.
Well, like the worst is playing Warhammer every week is you meet a guy, you play one game, and then they'll show up for weeks on end, and you'd never hear their name again.
Yep.
But it goes like there were 2 guys that showed up, and they've been coming out for years. And I want to say it took like 6 months to a year before we all collectively stopped referring to them as the kid and the dad.
That's funny.
And yet, same deal. You walk up, they're like, have a good night, Donnie. It's like, yeah, you too. Get in my car, run away.
Looks like she might be coming back soon. I saw movement on the camera.
Feel a disturbance in the falls. Oh no, it's still black.
It's-
It looks like she's been jammed. Strawberry.
Yes, she is.
I don't think she's in Discord yet.
I don't think
She's
you understand
on
the reference to
cameras.
Strawberry Jam.
Yeah, I was at the club
Yep.
today, and I was running the timing sheets, and it was definitely good to look at everyone's name and like have an excuse to call out their name. Like, oh yeah, that's Steve. Okay, yeah, I got it. I got it now.
The stupid thing is, I can remember all the horses' names after the first time I meet them.
Priorities. Priorities.
That's important, though. You need to
Yeah.
know the horse's name.
Yeah,
And then the person is just the owner of said horse.
yeah, pretty
Mhm.
much.
How we doing?
Back. Waiting for the world to load now.
Well,
Happens every
back.
time.
Waiting on the world to load.
At least she didn't take forever, which I appreciate. German internet. Alright.
Oh no,
Where was
I
I?
think it's because you didn't recite the old code. Everything is awesome.
Everything's. We're gonna get copyright striked. Oh.
Derek
did I-
was walking up to the palace to make the
Mhm.
introductions.
Right. And Aryan was just
And
doing this in the
Aryan
background.
is being called upon to show the finger.
The finger.
Not the middle one either.
You know, the finger goose.
Flip off the card.
I mean,
that'll
if you
get you
insist
it.
on
Yes.
pushing Derek out front, he's gonna walk past the guards, hold up the ring, and say, "We have business with the Caliph," and just keep walking.
Oh,
See what happens.
oh, interesting. I'm gonna need like an intimidation or persuasion or something of the sort.
You do that, and I turn to Nikoma and I go, "That's not usually how it goes."
He blames me for messing things up.
Let's go with intimidation.
Let's.
I'm happy I'm very reliable at things.
What is your roll?
That was a 2 for a 19.
Interesting.
That's
okay.
right. Good old rogues.
Reliable talent. Well, with a 19, you see they almost go to like chase you and instantly like raise their spear to sort of stab you, and then it is sort of register that you have the ring, and they go, wait. We need to inspect it to sure it's not. And then you see one of the guards. Are the rest of you with him as well?
I show my ring.
Right. Come this way. You're gonna have to leave the horse outside, lady.
That's fine. She's good.
Okay, as long as she doesn't bite.
Well, just don't touch her here. And I touch a spot, and then she pins her ears and goes, "Nyeh."
You see, he kind of flinches and he goes, right, won't do that. Got it. You better rush after him. Stick together.
I've gone the completely wrong direction.
Yeah. The guard goes, wait, you're going the wrong direction, sir. This way. Turn around, please.
If you insist.
I really do. Oh, there's a lot of you. Well, everybody follow me. We're going to take you into a waiting room.
We're walking.
We're walking, you go up and you see the palace is this fabulous building, as all palaces usually are, there are lots of decorations, lots of intricate designs. Every small corner seems to have like a lot of detail, a lot of attention. Some of the tiles have calligraphy painted on it. Some of the tapestry. Did I do it again?
You're still here for now.
You're here.
Okay. Where did I last lose you guys?
Tapestries.
Tapestries.
Tapestries. Well,
Tapestries.
Wir
the
heet
tapestries
music
are
tapestries.
gorgeous. The tapestry gorgeous, very detailed, very nice, very chic. You enter into the waiting room, where 2 or 3 guards are posted around like the exit, and you're sort of ushered in and say, "The Caliph is busy at the moment, but we will inform him that you have arrived and bring him a message. If he deems to meet with you, we shall bring you to his meeting room. All right, please wait here. And if you have any weapons upon your persons, please surrender them to the guards. We will check."
Nikoman
We have
takes
lots of
out his
weapons.
Nikoman takes out his dagger sickle. And he just puts it on the table.
Okay.
I've got like scimitars, short swords, Seljuk saber, goose dagger, 2 longbows, a short bow.
You see, at
Some
some point,
of
point
it's
the
on
guard that's
Kieran,
like-
but it's just like
at some point the guard is collecting. He goes, "Do you really? How do you carry all this and still move?"
Magic.
What?
Meanwhile,
I
Frederick
mean-
just put.
he's being sarcastic.
Mhm.
Derek's pulling out a smorgasbord as well. He's got dagger, short bow, dagger of Alamut, short sword,
How many
vicious short
knives do you
sword.
need? By the god.
And then pulls out the Yatagon as well.
You see the guy just goes, "All right, who else?" He points to Fenric. "You got anything hidden up your sleeves, young
We're
man?"
just really good at what we do.
Which is what exactly?
Ferret out evil stuff and destroy the evil stuff.
We've been fighting the assassins for the Sultan. We just got here last night, so we're here to present ourselves to the Caliph to offer our services.
Well, it's a good thing you came in time. One more day and you would have been catching dust.
That's what we heard.
We'll let the Caliph know. It sort of takes all the weapons and he goes outside to like a locked chest and you hear as everything is dropped in and then lock as it's locked.
As he's walking away, you just see Fenric with his staff, or just a walking stick.
Yeah. Galen, do you surrender your weapons as well?
Galen he will unstrap his broadsword and hand it over, and then he would start to make an argument that the warhammer is a holy symbol, but he'll just let it go.
Yeah, because the guard's eyebrow just gets higher and higher. And he
Yep.
goes,
Never mind.
"We'll keep good
If-
care of it." They don't
if they're
drop
all-
the warhammer; they place it nicely somewhere.
If they're all leaving me alone with my staff, I'll hold on to it. If somebody is going to walk up and like ask about it, I'll just be like, "Sir, good sir, would you part, a crippled man from his walking stick?"
Does it look visibly like a weapon or just a wooden stick?
It's a staff with a slingshot, like jury rigged on top of.
You see the guard sort of looks, "Do you have ammunition for this sling? We're gonna have to confiscate that."
In what pockets, good sir? It's like, all I have is my arrows. I have no stones to cast. I'll
Sort
I'll
of
pull out
pats
my
you down.
pack and look, like very up front, show him I have no physical ammunition to fire out of said slingshot.
That's kind of silly. He pats you down, all of you, and you guys are seated for a good like hour and a half. They bring you snacks and tea and all that. And eventually you are called upon to go up to the audience chamber, where the Caliph is seated and holding an audience. You see this. Yeah, go ahead.
Did we leave the entourage back at the inn? Please tell me we left the entourage back
Yes.
at the inn.
I would assume so.
I would
Okay.
say,
Yeah, if we're heading to the palace, we never take them.
Okay, I'm just making sure because all I can picture is us
Kids running around.
5 and then like this string of people.
I mean, to be fair, our string of people is only like another 5. We're just doubling the size of.
10 people is a lot in certain
10 people
places.
is a lot.
You walk in and you see like sitting on this sort of plush dais and chair. There's several other people sort of standing around. Most of them in military garb. They look like generals, lieutenants, stuff like that. There's some whole host of them which looks like clerical people with robes and turbans and different sort of not really weaponry, but they just have like scholarly looks about them. And you see sitting in the middle of it all is a man with this very sort of rotund, smiling, very nice sort of expression on his face. And there's a bit of worry, clearly some eye bags going on. He's a bit stressed, but he generally exudes like a very pleasant, sweet sort of vibe. Very Pooh Bear. Said what I said.
Neiman will go up and say, he'll bow. He'll say, Al Zahir, we worked for the Sultan in Isfahan, and we wanted to present ourselves before you leave, and maybe present ourselves to your lieutenant, whoever's going to watch over the city while you're gone as well.
Well, it is good that you have introduced yourselves in time. Welcome to Baghdad. And I am sure you would not mind, but as a gesture of, at this trying times, somebody will want to inspect these rings to ensure that they're authentic. Please, I ask that you do not resist. And you see like a few of the scholars sort of come up, one with like a magnifying glass, and he sort of inspects their ring without touching your hand. He just sort of goes in, and then he goes back and he discusses with some people, and they come in and they inspect the other rings as well, just to sort of make sure before they eventually turn to the Caliph and nod.
Nikaman sets his main pack down, starts digging for it. It'll just say it's somewhere in here. Sorry, it'll just start digging through it.
Some of the guards' hand goes to swords. The Caliph sort of waves them down. He's clearly a jolly old fellow. He means no good intention. Stand down. But yeah. Oops, notes, please. Thank you.
Should see him when he laughs. His belly shakes like a full bowl full of jelly.
Yeah. Clearly. Oh, well, so does mine. He sort of eventually. Do you find your ring, or?
Yeah, it'll take a few minutes because I just, along with all the money I have, and I just threw it in the bag.
There is that awkward moment in the court of the Caliph where there's pin drop silence and then a few coughs and like whispers as you're digging through your bag. This is who the Sultan chose. We're really desperate times.
I'm literally not with them.
Foreigner. They all look like foreigners.
Doesn't have
Is
a
that a
ring.
Mongolian? He's standing in the back. They sort of assume you're some sort of servant, but given that there's 4 out of
They assume who's
5 people,
the servant?
Galen.
Galen.
Some
And
sort of serving.
Bodyguard.
Nikaman eventually finds his ring, and he'll present it.
And then we'll come over, do the whole thing again, and then they nod, and the Caliph goes, right, now that we have got the formalities out of the way, would you like to, would you like to talk privately, or is this something you would like to present to the court?
I don't think it's private or needs to be hidden. We did many things for the Sultan, including tracking down and killing once the head assassin in Isfahan.
Oh. Fascinating. Tell us a little bit more about this. How did you track them down? Who were they?
It was Bengu Ilnora, the famous mercenary. I don't know if you've heard of her.
Of the Ashbringers, yes, we have. You managed to defeat her.
We did.
For now, we've discovered that the assassins have an ability to fake death using magic.
Among their other machinations, killing people in the dark of night with no honor. It surprises us not a lot, but you are experienced in fighting these assassins. Have you only fought the one, or...?
No, we fought many from uh, Samarkand to Merv to Isfahan.
I see.
And on the trip here.
Nikaman is going to turn to Derek and he'll quietly say, and hope no one else hears, should we tell them about the feather tattoos? Is that something we want to announce openly?
Without hiding it, Derek just kind of looks at him and goes, "You've already told them that they use magic to fake death. Might as well tell them the means too."
All right, Nikaman will look up and say, "We've discovered," and he'll hold out his arm. Usually, it's on the arm, a feather tattoo, a magic tattoo that allows them to. I don't know if they're actually dying and then they come back, or if they're getting close and faking their death and then running off later. I don't quite understand how it works, but that feather tattoo is. I won't say they all have it, the assassins, but the important ones do.
Just to take their heads just in case.
Yeah.
You see, some of the, like, the moment you mentioned magic, a lot of the generals just start shaking their head and whispering with discontent about how ridiculous this is. Some of the scholars as well, while others are like, perhaps they use certain chemicals, or there's something within the tattoo, and they all sort of trying to figure out the plausibility of this. Clearly, they don't instantly accept, like, the court at large does not instantly accept the existence of magic, as it were. A lot of them shake their heads. And then when you mention that the tattoos, you see some of them start talking about, like, markings as part of, like, being a group, and the Caliph has lost sort of his jovial expression. He's gone a bit more sort of into a furrowed brow. And he says, "Those are interesting theories you bring before the court. Thank you for providing information. I think the generals and I shall include that in our planning."
If I can make a recommendation, go through everyone you trust and look for those tattoos now.
Engu was one of the Sultan's most trusted advisors.
You see at that, he sort of shifts back. He seems to take that a bit more seriously, and he gives you just a singular nod. We shall take that into advisement as well. From those with higher insights, you would understand, higher passive insights, you would understand that clearly he understood that undercurrent, that obvious undercurrent of something dangerous. The rest of the court is very displeased with this information. They sort of look at each other, look at you guys with distrust. And you see the Caliph sort of goes, "Well, it is almost time for lunch. Thank you for bringing this information. I think it is best if we adjourn the court." You see he sort of raises just an almost finger at your sort of thing. There is some former processes as you guys are brought to sort of a side room and told that the Caliph wishes to have an audience in private.
Wishes to have lunch with us.
They say that can be arranged. They bring you to like a small offshoot study, semi-dining table kind of thing, where like you're sort of brought a simple light lunch, and eventually the Caliph sort of enters as well, and he sits down. "Well, That was certainly quite the proclamation you made in front of the court.
Yeah. Well, we're here.
Yeah.
We're here to ask what aid we can offer you in the city. Our mission brings us to the city for now, and then we'll join the assault on the Eagle's Nest.
Ah, you wish to join? Very well. If the Sultan trusts you, then I shall trust you as well. From what I know, your claims are not untrue, and you match the description except that one.
He's a new
He's-
acquaintance of ours.
And you're missing one as well.
Yeah, that's a story that is complicated and not really relevant.
I shall take your word for it. Anyways, it is a pleasure to meet you. On behalf of the satraps, you are welcome to the city.
Does Nikoman believe him?
Take your insight check. Go ahead and roll.
I'm gonna use a lucky on this one.
Your reaction was worth it all.
That's a 1 and an 8 for 12.
Okay,
I
anybody
rolled
else?
a dirty 20.
Okay.
Derek's just gonna believe him.
Okay. Nobody else? With a 12, Nickman? That sounds fucking convenient, doesn't it? The one time you don't have to ask somebody and they tell you're a satrap, this guy might be a fucking assassin, is what you think. Possibly. I mean, he's in a position of power. It'd be the perfect place to put an assassin.
Nikoman's looking at his arms for tattoos.
Arian, you understand that he's clearly not lying. There's nothing in his demeanor that points to a lie that you can tell. You see, he sort of sees you looking at his arms and he goes, "Do you wish to check?"
Yes.
Pulls back his sleeves and shows you his arms are empty.
If you just show him a game piece, he'll believe you.
Ah, right. He sort of reaches in and there's like a gold game piece. I really need to Google more medieval game pieces. Asia, Telgrad, game. pieces. I've run out. I've done. What have
You've
I
done
done?
chess?
I've done chess. I've done Go. I think I've done.
He takes
Warcraft
out-
at some point.
He takes out a little Monopoly piece, a little silver car.
Little shoe.
This is my favorite game. No, he pulls out what looks like a camel token equivalent. Maybe it's a different board game. Somebody figure it out, alright? He pulls it out. It's bronze. It's metallic as well, and he sort of shows it to you. Perhaps this will assuage your doubts.
Nikoman sits back, is a little bit calmer.
Then he hides it back under his robes. Now then. Do you have any questions for me, or... I mean, I can fill you in on the Sultan's and I plan. You have been traveling for a few days.
Mhm.
There have been some updates.
Updates are great.
Well, I have a few weeks ago, I put out an announcement that anybody that wanted to fight against the Khaganate would be recruited. Sultan Jalal has already set out to besiege Castle Alamut, and we have formed an alliance with the Sultan, the Caliphate and the Sultanate, and we will be providing the Sultan an opening, essentially, in order to penetrate the defenses of the castle. But while he is engaged in the siege, we shall attempt to delay the Khaganate so he does not get attacked in the back, because we have received word that Hulagu's forces are on the move, and they are heading in that direction as well.
Hulagu is the new Khan?
He is who is leading the horde across at the moment.
But he's not the new Khan.
I think he might be. Our information on that is limited
Okay, because
beyond your movements.
last we knew when we left Isfahan is they hadn't picked a new one yet.
I'm pretty sure Hulagu is the new Khan.
What are the chances that he's marching on the castle to attack the assassins after the assassins killed the previous Khan?
It is possible. Given their tactics, they could be leading towards not just attacking the castle itself, but anybody who stands between them and their revenge. We do not know much of his tactics personally, this Hulagu.
Well-
But the Horde in general is known for its brutality.
When you leave, who's protecting the city?
That is one of my worries. Normally, the council, the rest of the caliphate, there are plenty of those who are wise that will continue to make decisions. The management of the city is not what I am worried about. It is there is someone that has ending within the city that worries me most. He is, shall we say, a very prominent figure in the House of Wisdom, a very powerful and knowledgeable sage in his own right. He is, quite frankly, one of the most powerful people in the city, and with me gone, I fear he may take over, impeach me, or if I am killed in the battle, strive to take my place, convince people in order to become the caliph himself.
And he's not a satrap.
No, not to my knowledge. He is just a man in the House of Wisdom, but he is ruthless. I fear he would do anything, any means necessary to get the power that he desires.
And what
How
is his
could
name?
we help?
Can you come in first? His name is Al Jara. Chat. I got the full name somewhere here. But for now, this will do. Jara. There you go.
Now you say that he would go to any length to attain power.
That
Do
is
you
what
think
I
he
believe.
Do you think he would go to the extent of working with the Hashashin?
I have no proof, but it is possible. It is what I fear.
There's a follow-up question to that, which this one might not like. He just gestures at Galen. Do you want us to investigate to see if there are ties, or would you like there to be ties found associated with him?
Oh, no, no, no. We shall not I would rather we not kill him just because he poses political threat. Only if he is one of the Hashashin and there is definitive evidence that I would hope that you collect, should it need to be presented. Because if you kill him without just cause, without the voice of the people behind you, he is a well-respected figure in society, and that could bring a lot more disruption to Baghdad than we can handle.
I wasn't saying we kill him without evidence. I was saying that evidence is
And
found.
evidence. I would rather we not engage in the same means as the Hashashin.
Yeah, I agree with you. And she points at the guy.
One must make sure when they are fighting the monsters, they do not become the monsters. After all, I have a duty to my people.
So, how can we help? You want us to look for evidence?
I would like you to be on, shall we say, protective duty for the city. There is one other satrap, though I cannot reveal their identity. That is up to them, or for you to find them. That is watching over the city in my absence, but I would rather they have assistants, keen pair of eyes that are used to the tactics of the Hashashin. I have no doubt that there are some scattered about the city what with the proximity to the castle and how important
Well-
Baghdad is.
Well, we've brought one with us. Do you know Al Istakari? And one of these days I'm going to get that name right.
You got it right. Alistakri, yes. I have heard of him in the circles, never met him personally. You brought him with you, you said.
Yes. Yeah, he's with us. He's not here in the palace, but we have him
And
with
I
us.
feel a little bit safer with his wisdom at your side. I believe I can trust your capabilities in protecting the city from all manner of trouble. Especially keep an eye out for this Al Jara. And if he has any machinations, I would rather you unfurl them quietly and subtly if needed.
Well, send out the word before you leave for your mystery friend that we'd like to meet him, or if he needs us to do anything, he can find us at the really nice inn whose name is escaping me.
The
Old Stag.
Old Stag.
The Old Stag. Yeah, we're at the Old Stag for at least a week, 5 days, something like that. But
Right?
yeah, send out the word
Although if
to.
we get word from you, and we've also already dropped the Sultan in there, you can probably get us extended for another week, can't you?
It is possible to arrange if that is what you require. I shall do what I can to ensure you have some freedom about the city, given you have proven your worth, but be aware, just because you have been granted permission to access places does not mean there are no enemies and those who oppose you. The council is rife with peoples who disagree with each other, and I do not think a lot would look favorably upon your entrance, such as it was.
So when you leave, the council will run the city.
Yes,
Okay.
until such a time as they elect a new caliph.
Is there anyone on the council that you want us to meet to work for?
Give me a second. I would say maybe he'll give you a list of some trusted sources and people that he works closely with. That
Okay.
if they show up, you will be able to recognize that Caliph Al-Zahir has given you some base information about this if you need.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, this is a more personal question just because I don't quite understand it. And I'm new to this myself. How much magic is in the House of Wisdom?
A lot more than meets the eye. There is a lot. Don't let the behavior of the sages that you have seen today put you off. The secret is maintained jealously, guarded very carefully. Access to those places is difficult to acquire, even with the ring that you have been given. Some of it might have to be earned in favors or other such manner.
Now, last question for me, probably. We have a friend we collected on the road, not Alice Dockery, who was starting to be taught stuff at the House of Wisdom. And we kind of want to drop him off. If you have trusted sources, he'd like to. Well, I assume he would like to keep learning, but he's been with us on the road for a while.
Yes, I do know of someone who should be able to take him under his wing. I can write a letter granting him access to such a person. Would that be helpful? I
That
would
would-
need a name.
That was Aleph Soon.
He will write you a really quick stamped letter to get
Yeah,
this
his
man
friend
at least through the door.
Betrayed him and put him in a bottle.
That sounds difficult. How did you get him out of the bottle?
I can't
It was-
remember. I think we just opened it.
Yes, it was very simple. It had a cork in the top. All we had to do was
Right.
uncork it, and he kind of flowed out as this strange mist, and then coalesced in front of us into the man.
At least it wasn't a djinn. And just a man.
Yes.
Uh, last thing again, probably again. You'll be heading out east?
We shall be heading... Shall we put on the map so you can see where they're moving? How about that?
Sure.
Activate. Because directions are hard. If you look closely at the map, you see where Baghdad is and where Castle Alamut is up in the mountains.
Mhm.
So he'll be marching with the armies northeast.
Northeast? Okay.
And, yeah. Basically. He gives you a few details if you want to know. His army is about the size of 10,000, actually.
Got it.
So most of them have already moved on. Just the main bulk of the leadership is leaving tomorrow morning.
Well, we ran across a town on the road from Isfahan that was cursed. And in my opinion, rightfully cursed, but Nikman will point it out on the map and just say, just be careful. It might be empty by the time you get there, but the cursed people might still be there.
I don't think they're going that way.
Yeah, well, that's why I asked which direction they were headed, so...
They're gonna head up here.
Yeah, and the town was down here somewhere, right?
Yep.
Got
Right
it.
here.
Well, Nikman will point it out anyway, but say you're not headed that direction, so it doesn't matter too
I shall
much.
take note of it for the scouts. Either way, wouldn't want them passing through. Right. If you have anything that you would need to ask, now would be the time.
Well, we were just gonna head to the House of Wisdom with Alice Dockery after this, so...
He should be able to get you in. Before you go, I just need to check a few things that you are aware of before I leave the city, partially in your charge, or at least you to watch over my city. How much do you know about why Baghdad is built the way it is?
Something about a djinn?
You're aware of that?
Yes.
Any of you in particular deal a lot with jinn?
Not anymore.
Indirectly.
Right? And do you know the story of King Solomon and this city?
Yes, it was explained to us, but I'm just a northern barbarian and didn't quite understand a lot of it. So
Allow me
Well,
to
I don't-
explain.
I don't think Galen was there for it. Galen?
Huh.
Galen.
Well, in that case,
yes.
time for stories.
And Nikman will say, after Arion says that, Nikman will say, "Oh yes, I remember now, but let's tell it again for Galen's sake."
Could
Perfect.
could I make a history check to see if I know anything?
You would know a little bit about Baghdad, but when they mention jinn and King Solomon, you could be aware of, like, being raised as you were. I'd say give me a check just to know your general history. Some of this is very specific to satraps as an organization that the party have uncovered. You're aware of King Solomon, that name maybe.
Yep.
He was some important guy.
Okay.
But you see at this, the caliph sort of sits down, holds a cup of tea, and begins to regale you with the tale of Baghdad being this city of great sanctity located in the heart of the Silk Road. Like other holy cities, Mecca, Medina, Jerusalem, Baghdad is no different. It was constructed just 400 years ago by my predecessor, Muhammad al-Mansur, the second caliphate of the Abbasids. According to legend, it is said that King Solomon the Great once bound this terrible creature of the Al-Ghaib, the realm beyond this one, to the very heart of Baghdad, but there has been no physical evidence of this event. Anything that remains, at least. Now, when my predecessor, Al-Mansur, became aware of this situation, he somehow discovered the Jinn, bound thousands of years ago, was on the verge of being released. In response, he called together 1,001 sages to come together and reinforce those bindings, to ensure it is permanent this time, that this creature would not escape. Their words and their powers could mimic only a fraction of Solomon's might, and yet their combined strength together was able to safeguard the city's future. This knowledge, these words and power are entrusted to the safety of the House of Wisdom for the protection of future generations. That is the reason why the walls of Baghdad are built as they are, as a prison for this creature. Any questions so far? Not long after that, hi Daniel. Not long after that, there was actually another Jinn that was bound, not too far from Baghdad itself, in the castle Alamut, the Eagle's Nest. This ominous castle actually shares one common feature with the city of Baghdad itself. They were built using the same stones, and I am sure that Hassan Sabah knows about this as well, because he too studied in the House of Wisdom. I have a feeling this is why he has some plans for Baghdad. Otherwise, he would not have chosen Alamut as his headquarters once again. Over time, over the past century, caliphs have lost their influence, their power, their competence, and we were not able to stop the leader of the Hashashin, Hassan Sabah. When I was chosen, I did what I could to diminish his influence in my city. But once everyone thought he was dead, it was a non-issue. Now Hulagu Khan has forced my hand, and I have to leave the city in unknown hands. But I hope and I pray that your watchful eye will ensure nothing too badly or too untoward happens. Take care of my people. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Very well. I shall prepare some documents that should help grant you access to certain places, to certain people, should you need to. If there are any problems, you may seek an audience with my wife. She is wisdomous in her own right and can offer many insights, should you require guidance, and her political influence is not small in measure as well.
Nikoman's gonna
There's nothing else I can do for you.
Nikoman's gonna take out a little turtle statue. I'll say, this little turtle is based off of I'm sure it had to be some sort of deity or sub-deity who's kind of, I don't want to say plagued, but kind of watched over us. And hopefully he can watch over you as well. Good luck on your trip.
A welcome gift, thank you. I shall have your documents sent to the Old Stag with secure transport. Of course. Go in
Thank you.
peace.
Thank you for your time. It was wonderful to meet you.
It was wonderful to meet you all as well. You see, he sort of gives this nod to one of the guards at the door, and they open. Having finished your lunch meeting with the Caliph of Baghdad, you are escorted out and led to the gates of the palace itself.
And we get our weapons back.
And you get your weapons back. All of them are
Okay.
in good condition and accounted for. This
Have they
time.
been polished?
No. Not that kind of treatment. But you have some new information. Some things rehashed, refreshed, I hope. I think it might be a good time to take a little break to figure out what you want to do next and to discuss what to do in this big city. We shall return in about 5 to 10 minutes. Don't leave us as we continue with your exploration of Baghdad. See you in a bit. This great wisdom I shall take to heart. Thank you.
And we're live.
So, give us more
One
ninjas, is what I'm saying. We need
menacing
more
ninja.
ninjas. More ninjas.
All of that
One
One
ninja is scary.
ninja.
One ninja is scary. We need more
With
ninja.
3 swords. I'm just gonna send Zoro at you. um, right. We return to the city of Baghdad. You are lovingly deposited outside the palace gates, back into the streets. With a city to explore and now some new evidence, you know that the Caliph and his army will set out tomorrow morning. They're probably going to be busy with a lot of stuff. Your documents will be sent to you probably by the end of the night. What to do next?
Well, the plan was to hit up the barracks next. But Galen, I don't claim to be the smartest or the wisest. I am the best looking person in the group, but like those other things can definitely go to the other people. Isn't it weird to you that a bunch of Christians are sending a Zoroastrian artifact, seemingly powerful one, out of Christian lands into Muslim lands? Doesn't that seem weird?
This whole thing seems weird.
What I'm getting
To
at,
be fair, he identified it as the Chalice of the Apostles or something like that. So their assumption would have been that it was a Christian artifact.
yeah, but that makes it even worse. Why would they want to send that away from home to people they don't necessarily like?
Vessel of the Apostles.
That's right, the vessel.
All I know is that it was supposed to be delivered here to somebody for safekeeping. I don't know who that is. I don't know. I mean, it could be the Caliph for all I know, but it felt weird to bring it up and as he was talking.
I think it was
Especially
smart.
with his larger court.
I think it was smart to not bring it up to him. I mean, like, I trust him, but like, this seems like a third, fourth, fifth party jumping into the game, and I don't know if I understand what's happening or who's doing it or how it benefits them. You know?
Welcome to international relations.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, what I'm getting at. Should we do it? Should we hang on to it? Should we even go to the barracks and find out what's happening?
I should
Or-
at least report back to the barracks to let them know what happened. I was coming here with my troop to help support, and there is no troop to help support.
It seems odd to me, and maybe it'd be good to report what happened to your troop, but keep back the vessel of the apostles, that you have it, or hide it, or like not tell them. Am I making any sense here?
I understand what you're driving at. Yes.
Fenric,
Honestly,
what do you think?
I don't think that we have reason to not follow through with that initial plan until shown otherwise. Like, if we find the person is clearly going to use it for some nefarious means, then no. But if it looks like it's going to be kept in a safe place by people that are trustworthy, who are we to say that they shouldn't have it?
I mean, when I report into the barracks, I can at least inquire as to who Sir Matthew was supposed to meet with, without saying why.
Lean into you not knowing what was going on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It just
Well, I still don't know what's going on, but so
Well-
I'm not really leaning into anything.
I'm just saying, it just, the whole thing seems weird. We're going to take this powerful thing here, we're going to send it to our enemies, and then, surprise, surprise, we get ambushed on the way.
The Caliph isn't our enemy, though.
I I don't understand the intricacies of Christianity and Islam, but we're a couple crusades in at this point.
I mean, there's past tensions, let's just say, but this was an act of allyship, at very least to the city, if not to um, the empire at large. At the very least, to the city of Wisdom, Baghdad. You do note that there is occasionally relations, if not by kingdoms, by individuals, by smaller organizations.
And I might be wrong, but Baghdad at the time was viewed as like a center of knowledge and stuff like that, and so was welcoming for people from all around the world that were coming
Yes.
as like
Yep.
scholars. So
Mhm.
it's not like, they were walking in
To a
under like
fortified city.
the fortified city under the flag of the crusade and walking into Mecca being like, this is going to be Christian now.
Yeah.
It's a
And-
very different story.
Uh-huh.
And above the table, I know that at this point in history, Jerusalem has been leveled and doesn't really exactly exist, other than like rubble. So.
Yep.
So anyway, Nikaman will just say it's weird, and I don't think we should do anything with it until we figure out who, what,
There's
why.
credit to his point. Why would they send a powerful artifact to someone who is not them? Does make sense, even if it is not a necessarily rival city or anything. Why would they want to send it to a city with knowledge? There has to be some purpose. So it's definitely a worthy line of questioning. I'll say that.
But that's just me. I carve wood and get in trouble for getting naked.
You had to bring it up. I had got that mental image out of my mind, and you bring it up again, and I'm seeing your bare ass walking out of the river.
Gonna
Not that I want to
furrow my
think
brow.
this way.
Getting naked? What, Nikaman, what are you doing?
Bathing.
Wait, no, never mind. Never mind. I don't need to know.
Galen, you were gonna say something?
Not that I want to think like this, but this thought this path I'm thinking down just gives me worry in and of itself. We were attacked on the road, and the assassins are looking for this artifact. It's entirely possible that someone within my order is working with them.
They are sneaky that way.
Well, I don't know if we told you, but we just spent weeks getting jerked around by a very important assassin. So,
Yeah, the closest advisor to the Sultan was an assassin.
Okay.
Still can't believe you took away my chest, buddy.
she's still alive.
I will report into the barracks and we'll go from there.
All right, we'll take your lead on this, but like, this isn't an order or anything, but I'm suggesting until we figure out what's going on, keeping that chalice in your back pocket.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Would be wise
Right?
on the wraps.
The safest
Even if-
place for that vessel might actually be in Nikaman's bag because you can't ever find anything in there.
Honestly?
That, I mean, I do have a bag of holding, so we could just toss it in there and nobody would ever know.
Just lost forever to the ethereal plane.
Right.
Mm-hmm. No. But even if somebody hasn't directly, betrayed your order, there is the possibility that somebody has been replaced. We have seen that happen a few times now.
Did we ever re-kill that guy?
Well, that particular one was split into 2 pieces vertically. I don't think he was coming back, but
Okay.
if they have one person who has that kind of capability, perhaps there are more.
Well,
Okay.
you head out of the palace, you walk kind of nearby to one of the entrances of the city. I think I'm going to shift the barracks, actually. They shouldn't be right there. Makes no sense. I'm going to put it right here. Boom. Barracks. You walk out of the protective walls, passing by the Bab al Sham, and you head outside towards the barracks, right on the outskirts of the walls. And the world is your oyster. You walk in, clearly there is a hive of activity. There's soldiers running around, horses are being led,
Yep.
weapons tested, perfected, and you sort of have to figure out where the person you might be looking for, who you want to talk to, is. So I'd ask how you do that. Stop a foot soldier, stop a cavalryman, run in there.
Would I have known like who I should generally be checking in, like a captain or someone like that?
You would ideally want to go for someone higher ranking that would know about troop movements or relations with other people. So, captain, definitely, maybe even higher if there is a rank around. So, you would look for someone that's well decorated and also well guarded at a time like this.
Okay. Coming into the barracks, into the yard, I just scan the yard and see quickly where I might be able to point that head there. It's possible they're inside, but if they're out in the yard, then I'll head to
Yep.
to that person. If I don't see anybody, I will grab someone. Actually, I will grab like a lower rank, not like a foot soldier, but someone that is like barking orders.
Sure. You want to use your passive perception or make an active check for me?
It's an excellent question. I will make an active check.
Good. With that active check, as you sort of look around, you do spot, luckily, in the nick of time, you see what looks like a very high-placed figure in the military sitting astride a horse, and he is talking to what looks like several people of lower rank, also high rank, not foot soldiers, but like they're having some kind of plan or they're talking about like supplies or something out in the open. So clearly nothing is secret. So if
Okay.
there was ever a time, what would be the guy?
I'll head towards him. Yep.
Okay, you head
Yep.
over to this person.
So I head
Who
over,
is sitting-
and I hopefully catch his eye. My lord, a moment.
What language do you say it in?
Oh, whatever the common tongue is.
In this part of the world, it would be Arabic.
He doesn't know Arabic.
You could try Latin, I guess. You do know, I would say, since you speak common, you would know at least a passing level of Arabic. You might not be fluent in the most big terms, but knowing you were coming on this mission, you spent at least some time with the basics.
Okay, like enough to say hello, get someone's attention. In that case, that's what he'll try first.
Okay.
And hope for the best.
You see he sort of gives you a look, he finishes his orders, and then he sort of turns to you with his horse, looking down, and he sort of says, "You do not look like you belong here."
You would not be wrong. However, I am Sir Galen Vandenberg of the Order of the Hospitallers out of Akkar. I was sent here
Ah.
with a troop to help bolster, and I
You
am
were
the only
due.
one that's left.
You see, he sort of gets off his horse. Hold that thought. And then he looks behind you and sees the rest of them. Are they with you?
They are.
They don't look like knights.
They are not, but they can hold their own, and they have the trust of this ultimate.
Into my personal chambers.
Already
Come.
taken
You see,
me to
he
bed.
doesn't even hesitate. He expects all of you to follow suit. You walk in and you see he sort of nods at a few people, letting you guys in. What? Do this. Okay. And you see he sort of sits at this what looks like planning table. There's all sorts of maps and scrolls, some which are sealed, some which are not, scattered about this like war table essentially. He sits down in his chair, gestures at you without like giving you any sort of place to sit down or anything hospital. Not anything hospitable. He's not acting very hospitable,
Yep.
but he just sort of expects you to present your case, whatever it is you were saying.
I give him the high-level version of what our orders were,
Mhm.
and what happened along the way with the assassins attacking, coming across the caravanserai and meeting these fine folks, and then coming to Baghdad. It would. I know that we are past. I'm well past many days of my orders, but it only
You
behooves
were
me to
due.
at least check in.
You were due at least more than a week ago. We had been wondering what had happened to your unit. Hashashin. They plague us every step of the way.
Yes.
I am sorry for your loss, soldier.
One of my fellows, Sir Matthew, was supposed to meet somebody here. I don't know who. Would his name mean anything to you?
I can look in my records. I would need his full name. That would help expedite.
Jensen needs to go find it.
Take a second. I know the feeling of searching through bajillions of notes.
Matthew de Clermont.
Matthew de Clermont. Give me a second. You see, he sort of leans out to the tent, calls when a clerk or something discusses with them, and they search through a couple chests of stuff. And he says, I do not know the exact title, but I knew he was due at the House of Wisdom with a...
Okay.
There was a woman that he was supposed to meet. Someone higher up. Quite powerful. Best I'd say is you can head to the House of Wisdom and see if they have records of who he was supposed to meet. You should be allowed in. Nothing else survived of your journey. Yes, you have no...
Just what I have on me.
Very well. We shall manage without. Thank you for letting us know of what happened to the Hospitallers, at least.
Yes. Good luck. And he nods kind of in an informal salute and steps out.
He just raises a glass and he sort of drinks something, and he goes, Go in as much peace as you can find, friend.
That was a really truthful way of not telling anybody about the the thing.
Just what
That
I have
was
on
like
me.
really good.
He's got it. He's learning to
Yeah,
do white
Aryan
lies.
looks at you quite impressed.
He looks a little green.
Yeah, you guys are ushered out to the barracks. If there's anything else you want to do,
Well, should we gather our friends and all head to the House of Wisdom?
Yeah.
So,
All right, let's get
make
out.
a detour.
Yeah, let's get our
Grab
friends.
a you grab a little boat from near the barracks, pay a little bit of coin to get someone to go all the way to the Old Stag, pick up your friends, and then walk back into the city. Or boat back into the city if that's up to you, because that's a thing you can do here.
You notice that Nikoman is actually very steady on his feet on the boat.
Because we fancy up in here. We take
Is the boat
Really
big enough for a horse?
No.
Okay, so then I ride through the city because I've got Shirun with me.
Right, well then you have to meet them separately. Sheeran
That's
looks
fine.
longingly
On
at the
the
boat.
way, on the way there, I'm gonna practice with Tanger, his
Okay.
flyby.
Let's do that. Give me an animal handling check. You just have to pass a DC of 18.
19.
Nice. With that, Tanger gets his flyby ability. I shall put it in his character sheet eventually. I just need to write it down somewhere.
This way he can be useful and not die.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
You know,
Good addition.
that's whenever you look over and what's that streaking through the sky? The glint of an arrowhead.
Oh god. I shall try not to kill any more pets, but I make no promises if you bring them to battlefield. You collect all of your friends
You're
and
not gonna
family.
kill it. It's not a dog.
You're right, that would be terrible. You gather your friends and family and head to the House of Wisdom. Just 10 of you in a nice little row of ducklings
Well,
heading to the House of Wisdom.
as we apparently grab everyone from the Old Stag, Nikoman will say, "Oh, I just meant Alice Dockery and Alef Soon." Was it Alef Soon? God.
Yes,
Just
Alefsoon.
Afsoon.
Just
Is it
Af-
Alefsoon?
Afsoon.
I thought it was just Afsoon.
It's Upsoon. It's just
Afsoon. Okay. Nikoman will say, "Well, I just meant those two, but if we want to take everyone, we can."
You see Nikoman's family, Calda, or look at you with like glares at the
Nikoman's?
idea that you're
Nikoman's
going.
family?
I look up and when did you get so big?
Well, you're all family now. But Fenric's family look at you with glaring eyes. You want to go to the House of Wisdom without us?
What?
To the fame
I
of the
was not
House
the
of
one-
Wisdom in Baghdad?
Wasn't saying
I
you
was
couldn't
about to
come.
Suggest you stay behind. Would be glad if you can. Honestly, I thought that you would have just slapped me over the head and gone anywhere. So please.
I was planning to, but I'd rather not hurt you. It's been several years. Your mother just sort of gives you this comforting pat and you sort of just walks on ahead.
There's just
Everything's
one
behind,
fault.
and somebody's gonna be hurting real bad tonight.
Guess so. But yes, you walk through the city, this whole entourage, and as you walk past the palace, the winds blow in your direction very cinematically, and you're surrounded by this magnificent tower. It sort of fills you with awe in front of you. Somewhere close to the center of this round city, its huge garden is filled with scholars and researchers and students and hodjas and scientists. Every corner of this green space carries wisdom for those who might be listening and excitement for the future, a wonder to explore this world and beyond. And you are absolutely sure that you can learn everything here. Every piece of information that the world at large possesses must be kept inside these walls. What men have learned since the dawn of civilization must be found here somewhere in written form. And you're feeling like you're standing at the full mind and memory of humankind up until this point within the confines of this tower.
On the way there, Nikoman at first would like to separate or just talk to Afsoon. Say, Afsoon, if you wish, we got you a letter of recommendation to join the House of Wisdom.
You see Afsoon, who has been like quietly in awe, sitting next to Alistark. He turns to you and his jaw drops, and he goes, "You what?"
Yeah, the Caliph has some friends, some trusted friends. They can get you an apprenticeship or whatever it is here.
He tears up. You remember to ask the Caliph about an apprentice? I was content to simply travel by your side with Alistocracy was beyond anything. You got me in. Hold on. One moment. You see, he sort of goes to the side and has like a dab at his eyes. And he turns around. That is an amazing opportunity. Thank you. I owe you everything.
Well, you've been with us for a while, and you kind of know what's going on. So things might get a little bit dangerous in the coming days, but I think it'll be a good place for you.
I have wanted to go to the House of Wisdom as an apprentice since I was a little boy. I used to dream of it. And to think I have gotten this gift from your hands. Thank you.
And Nikoman will turn to Alice Dockery and say, "Well, we met one of your friends." Nikoman will like open his eyes, hintingly.
Ah.
Alza here.
Right. He turns to somebody else in the party. What friends is he talking about?
Nikoman will brush his traveling clothes back and momentarily expose the chest piece that's still hanging from his belt.
Ooh. He exposes his chest piece, and you see Alistair goes, "A satrap. Yes. Oh, oh, oh. Yes. That should be correct. When I last remembered him, he was just a boy. Now he's a caliph. It's doing well for himself."
He said there was one more friend in the city, but it wasn't his place to tell us his name. So there's at least one more.
Ah, then the city should be somewhat decently protected between me and this mysterious person. I think they like to keep their identity secret.
Well, we
We
put
do
out
like our games.
we put out the word through Alza here, the Caliph, that we'd like to meet, or we're offering services, knowledge, anything. And if that person wants to reach out, that's on them. But we'll see. But Al Zahir, he's leaving with the army tomorrow, so the city's going to
Yes.
be a little less protected.
And yet, we have come just in time. Fate smiles on us once again. May
He's,
the Caliph go with safety and Godspeed.
he said he was going to send us important information documents, the letter of recommendation for Afsoon to the old stag tonight. But we've got Galen over here needs to make some introductions at the House of Wisdom as well. So that's why we're heading there before we get our documents. You still with us, Fox?
I'm back. I think.
We can hear
Any
you.
of what he just said?
Nope.
Got it.
Perfection.
How bad
What
was
the
it?
last thing you heard?
It was when I was making that expression.
Oh.
I can't remember.
Well, they're sending
Yes.
documents of friends, trusted advisors in the House of Wisdom and in the Council to the old stag tonight, as well as Efsoon's recommendation letter. But Galen needed something from the House of Wisdom today, so we're headed there to figure it out.
Well, then we shall head into the house and see for ourselves what waits, what mysteries, what knowledge we can uncover this time around. Aren't you just excited at the thought of hundreds of thousands of books and scrolls and papyrus? I've never been so
Arian's
excited.
eyes glaze.
Now remember, you are not allowed to carry open flames anywhere within the confines of the House of Wisdom.
Got it. One last warning. Al Zahir was worried about Al Jara taking over the city once the Caliph leaves. And we're wondering if Al Jara is at least aligned with the assassins. So just idle thoughts.
Well, it is very much a plausible thing. He could be working on his own for power. He could be working with the Hashashin. I think confirming it is within your capabilities. I believe in you, lot.
Yeah, we're gonna
With a little
try.
bit of guidance, you have got this. Now, the center of information, science, and enlightenment awaits us. And he just sort of gets in, leaving you all behind.
Well, we follow him in, see where he's going.
Mm-hmm. You walk in past the sort of greens and into the tower, the house proper, and you find around you there are no candles, no torches, nothing aflame. There's lamps with fireflies inside of them to light the dark corners of the House of Wisdom. And it is certainly an interesting sight.
As we
There are
are we just in like the foyer, or are we in it now?
You're just in the foyer. For now.
Okay. Well, Nikoman's gonna be idly on the lookout for either open or secret casting of magic. He's not using Sight of the Gaib. He just wants to see if he can pick up on it.
Okay. I'd have you using your passive or roll me an active.
That's a 5 for Arcana.
Okay. There's magic everywhere. How do they get these bugs that give light in a lamp? It's like that gin all over again. Maybe if you let them out. I'm going to activate. Use sometimes you'd be surprised. Use a scatter shot. Sometimes it hits true, and other times it doesn't. But yes, you walk into the library. It's built with stone, wood, these ancient books, scrolls all over the place. Now, Alistocracy explains to you that generally it's very difficult to obtain a membership to access these archives within the House of Wisdom. Either you have to make a generous donation of like 500 gold pieces or more, or you donate some sort of written text archives. You have proof of scholarly pursuits, arcane interests, literary talents, or artistic virtues. Like, they only let select people into this place. Oh, or you could have a letter of recommendation from a member. And non-members are only allowed access to one specific hall. They can't borrow books. Members can be allowed to take a book, but they have to bring it back in a month. If not, they will face a heavy fine, like 150 gold pieces kind of fine. And if it's more than 2 months, then they're sentenced to death. So they take stuff seriously around here.
The way you said that was like 200 gold pieces, and if it's more than 2 months, they are sentenced to death.
Don't fuck with the librarians.
Don't fuck with the librarians. But yeah, he introduces you to several floors that are in this place. There's 7 floors that are open to the public, known as the Halls of Rashid. And these are like open to the public to learn anything within that. Then there's several other chambers that are closed off. So it is a very, very big place. There are sages that are like, there is the equivalent of a sort of desk. It's built out of stone and marble, but there seem to be some sort of attending sages that are sitting there directing people to where they can go. So you could join the queue if you wish.
I guess Nikamond is gonna sidle up. Has Alistocracy just disappeared into the library? Or is he in the queue as well?
He explained to you. He disappeared and then he stopped for a second and he realized none of you have the ability to just walk into this place willy-nilly. Even though he does, he turns around and he starts explaining. Joins the queue with you, although you see he's kind of impatient, tapping his foot, waiting to get to the front counter if he needs to give a recommendation for one of you to be lane. But you get the feeling that not everybody's going to be able to get inside this time around without the approval of the documents that you're waiting for.
Okay. Well, Nikoman will take out his book, and it'll only show it to Alice Dockery. And he said, scholars can get in. That's what you said. Would this be enough for me to get in? I'm not saying I'm donating. This is my book. But is this like a good enough test to get in?
Sometimes it depends on the, well, how generous the sages at the counter are feeling. But what book are you presenting to him?
My book of rituals.
Your book of magical rituals.
And it's got right now it's got 3 spells in it, and I can do 2 of them.
Okay. All right. It might be a little bit lacking, but if the sage is feeling generous, maybe.
Do I just show
Perhaps
it to the front desk, or
perhaps the ring might buy you a little bit more access. Combine it together.
And Nikoman takes his bag, brings it around the front, and he starts searching again.
Luckily for you, you've got plenty of time as you slowly crawl your way up the queue. You see all manner of people from all different kinds of backgrounds: Greek, Latin, people speaking Turkish, Arabic. There is a mix of people coming in here, very much attributing to Derek's point earlier. Everybody and anybody seems to be able to come here, and they speak a variety of languages. Like each sage, each person that they talk to, they can switch easily between 3 or 4 languages. Eventually, it gets to your turn. You are a rather large group. The clerk sort of looks up at you. Yes, how can I help you?
Well, our friend here, Galen, needs to meet with someone, and that's the most important thing for now.
Do you have an appointment? You see, he flips through this dusty book.
The appointment would have been for a Matthew de Clermont with one of your higher ups.
So you missed the appointment, and you are not the person coming for the appointment.
He has passed.
Ah.
And I was asked to take on the appointment. But I do not have a name, only that it is a female.
Right. Okay, I will see what I can do. He sort of gives you a little bit of a side eye as he puts the book up and flips through several pages. And you knew this Matthew how exactly?
He was my brother in arms.
He sort of inspects Knights of the Hospitaller. You've got the look of it. And you have anybody to vouch for you within the city for your identity or any documents?
The captain at the barracks could vouch for me. The Caliph could vouch for me.
Okay. He sort of writes down a few notes, and I will need your full name for the records.
Sir Galen Vandenberg.
And how do you want to spell that? And it's like he just sort of takes down a couple details, time and place he came from. And how many people are you bringing with you today? He sort of looks over the group.
Kind of looks at Derek and Nikoman like, you know,
We'll allow
us here.
2 of you to this meeting. Hold on. Sort of flips through. His eyes widen a little bit and he closes the book. You will have to arrange for... So you wish to know the identity of this person to reschedule this meeting, yes? Your friend Matthew did not tell you who it was,
No,
is what I'm getting.
he was dying.
Okay. It would be inconvenient, yes. You see he sort of scratches down something with a quill and ink and he goes, this is the identity of the person. Finding the appointment shall be your issue, and whoever else you can bring shall also be your issue. This is about as much help as we can do for you. And he slides the paper over. Is there anything else?
Can I make an insight check based on his quick change of demeanor?
You certainly can. With the 17, you notice that the change of demeanor happened when he flipped to the page, and almost like when he was looking at the name of who Matthew was supposed to meet, maybe they had a booking for some kind of room or something, but he had this like, oh, this is above my pay grade kind of expression, and his demeanor's almost sort of like, right, I just want this off my plate and get back to my job. I don't want anything to do with this kind of vibe off of him. That's why he's like, take this, get out of my sight.
So, who should I speak to then to schedule this meeting, if not you?
Perhaps the personal attendants of this person. I'm sure you can figure out something.
I've never been in your city before. This is my first time.
She would have a house with attendants. I'm sure you have some friends among the locals. How did you get to this city? There's rather a lot of you. Somebody speaks the language, surely?
He's like, what are you talking about?
You can set up an appointment at the palace with the Caliph's wife, since you know the Caliph. I'm sure she would be happy to meet you about your dead friend Matthew.
He opens
And
the paper
whatever.
and looks at the name.
It's the name of Khatun. Fuck, I had it. I had the name right here on the tip of my
Hayat
brain.
Jawar Klatoon.
Yes, Hayat Jawahar Khatun is the Caliph's wife. That was who Matthew was set to meet. She is fairly high-ranking within the House of Wisdom, apparently.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Next.
But Nikaman will step up and just say, I've heard you can get access to the library if you're into scholarly pursuits, and Nikaman will finally pull out his ring.
We shall require, and you see he sort of pulls out what looks like a form or type of paper. We shall require proof of scholarly pursuits. Do you have papers written in your name?
No.
Artworks? Literature?
Yes. No.
Evidence, if you please.
Yes. A little bit of evidence. You want it now?
Yes.
Oh.
Show me your evidence of your pursuits. What manner of... Which of the halls are you looking to get access into, exactly?
Maybe historical texts, stuff that's not widely known. And Nikaman will take out his the horse he was working on carving with articulating legs, and I'll put the horse on the table, and then the horse will just collapse because the legs aren't supported by anything currently. And it'll say,
"It is broken."
It's not broken. It's not finished. I have
brought an unfinished project.
I have more, but and there's a lot of people in the line.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Nikaman's gonna reach into his bag, and he's gonna get real close to the table, and then he's gonna set a statue on the table, but he's gonna be so close that only the clerk in front of him is gonna be able to see it.
Uh-huh.
And he's gonna push the button for the desert hag statue, and it's a wood statue, but suddenly the wood statue is going to kind of stand up, look around, and then curl back down into itself.
You see, as he's watching this, you get into his fucking face. He's like, "Excuse me?" He gets this really pissy look on his face, but then you put the statue down and his eyebrow rises a little bit, then it moves and his other eyebrow rises a little bit, and he kind of gets this, "You are not completely hopeless. I thought this was a scam." Very well.
Nikaman lets out a good chuckle at that.
Yes, that was a joke. You should show some artistic capabilities, perhaps not in the literary sense. Do you have somebody to accompany you? And you see Alice Thackeray goes, "That would be me. my name, and he gives his like full name, and the person kind of goes, oh yes, of course, clearly recognizing Alistakri. You were with him, why didn't you just say? Okay, never mind. Right, so you have access to a lot of the halls. Some of them you might have to show further proof or talk to some of the higher ups within the House of Wisdom, but two of you have access to several chambers. You see are listed in sort of, you get like a little pass and it says access to certain types of chambers.
Does it say
which
multi-pass?
No. It says limited pass.
Nico and Dallas multi-pass.
It says Alistakri an apprentice. Tinker? Question mark.
Tinker, yes.
But yeah, Nikuman has access and Alistakri will accompany you.
All right.
if you wish to enter.
Yeah, Nikoman wishes to enter, and it'll turn to the rest of the group and say, "Well, someone should go with Galen to meet the Caliph's wife, or at least schedule an appointment."
Someone was saying that Nikuman's volume is a lot louder than the other players and the DM.
Sorry, it's my fault. I got real close
Is
to
the
the
DM
microphone.
louder too, or is the DM quiet?
Am I too quiet? Also, welcome in Top Down Tabletop.
Yeah. So,
Thank you
sorry,
for
it's
that
my
insight.
fault. I got this microphone, but I can't sit still, so I'm moving all around. And I keep hearing
I
I'm
have the
too
same
quiet and too loud.
You need to get one of those mics like Azura. The DM is quieter. Fuck. Much better. All right, thank you. All right. Who wants to go accompany Galen to get an audience with the Caliph's wife?
I will.
And who wants to do something else? How are we splitting this party?
I
Tell
will
me.
go with Galen because I'm not letting him go by himself with assassins after him.
Okay.
I'll go with Galen too.
Okay.
And just as we're walking out, I lean over to him and go like, next time just read the name first before you keep asking who they're telling you to go to.
I thought it was just someone in the building. Like, you can't just put me in the book.
I guess not. So that leaves Fenric. Fenric, what are you doing? Nikuman's staying here.
I'd be wandering around with my parents and Kala and just exploring the House of Wisdom.
Do you want to the public floors?
Yeah, because I don't think we're going to get access to the other areas. So I think we'd be exploring around there. And as we're looking around, I'd actually try to look around and see if they have any information about like Goldorf Haven, or maybe the piece of crystal jammed into my face.
Well, you have come to the right place. That I can very much say. So we have our nerd group and we have our I would rather be outside of the library group. Let's see. Who shall we start with? Who wants to start first?
Nikoman will start because you'll probably have to tell me this information later. But
Yep.
Nikoman will go up to Alice Dockery and say, I'm suspecting that the Eagle's Nest having the same stone as Baghdad will mean he can release the genie from there. And that would be bad for everyone. Is there any place we can go to investigate this magic? The links? Or anything like
The
that?
link between the jinn. See, that is where you are wrong, my very bald friend. There is a second jinn that was trapped within the confines of Castle Alamut, and one
Oh.
trapped within the halls of Baghdad. Now, do I know if it is possible to release the jinn from each place from another? I have not considered this possibility before, but we can certainly explore, I think. We would have to get access. This information, we could get some historical evidence, but if you want access to satrap only knowledge, that would be a lot more difficult.
Well, I'll follow your lead for now. The recommendations and the door opening letters will come later, but we needed to come here anyway today to start with. So
Very well. Um, let's see which one works for you. Okay, you were telling me that you were on the lookout for magic
yes,
happening with a 5.
with a 5.
Okay. Even with a 5, I would say once you access certain amounts, certain places in the library, once you go like past where the public halls are, it gets a lot quieter, it's a lot more muted. And you swear you see something in the corner of your eye, you turn around and it's not there. And then you walk by and another flash of white sort of just drifts at the peripheral of your vision. See, Alastakri is not bothered. He's just walking. He goes, "This one would be good," and he picks up and he gives it to you to hold. Then he wanders around. This is rubbish. Next one, and he goes and he puts another one. So you're basically his attendant.
Sure.
He's just giving you books to hold.
Yep.
And every time you swear you see like ghostly, translucent figures walking around you throughout. And Alastakri does not react.
Do you see the? Are they ghosts? What's passing us?
Hmm?
You don't see
This
those.
looks good.
You don't see the figures going past.
Oh. Yeah, of course I see them.
What are they?
Ah, yes, you wouldn't know about this. Yes. They are the Bitig Kul, the spirits of this library. How do I say this? They are not, you know how angry ghosts, they're not vengeful. They are sort of just scholars who never finished researching. They had unfinished projects when they died. You know, people who could never quit science. They keep learning in the unlife.
Are they helpful?
Oh, yes, they keep watch over the House of Baghdad, and there's a saying that if any information here is gathered for evil purposes or anybody damages the written text by any means, the Bilig Kul put a curse on you. So, don't be evil.
No, I
Also,
mean,
crayons.
I mean, can we ask them questions? Do they talk?
Oh, sometimes they do. Yes.
Okay.
And he sort of explained to you that Bitig Kul, aka the remains of the ash, essentially, is what it's called in Turkish, because he gets into a sort of lecture mode and he tells you about how these ghosts are the ones that burned away during the burnings in the Library of Alexandria centuries ago, and their spirits sort of endured, found their way to another center of knowledge here in Baghdad, and when Caliph Mansur, who you've heard this name before, the predecessor, visited Alexandria, he heard a calling from the heart of the ruins of Alexandria, and he went to go visit it, which no sane person would do, and he found sort of remnants of these almost extinguished, pained souls at the destruction of the knowledge, and they say he sort of had a hand in guiding them and building up Baghdad as this sort of center in order to give them some sort of shelter, help them, and in turn they guard the House of Wisdom here. And these Bitikul, these ghosts, they guide scholars on where to put stuff. They sometimes leave clues, hints for people, like you're searching for this book and there's like a sudden shift somewhere, and then they'll find a book that's just what they needed. They're like Casper the Friendly Ghost, if he was a librarian.
Okay. Well,
Died in a library.
if and when we sit down to start reading and researching, Nikiman will take out a butterfly if he sees a ghost passing, and he'll put it on the table and push it towards one of the ghosts.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Can you roll me a d6?
It's a 3.
A 3. All right. You leave out this little butterfly.
Butterfly.
And there is this particular ghost with a sort of absent look on her face that's sort of drifting by, very Roman in attire, Greco-Roman in attire, and you see she sort of turns to you after sort of blankly staring into space. Her eyes just sort of meet yours, and then she looks down at the butterfly. I liked butterflies when I was alive. This is a beautiful piece.
It's yours.
Ah, the thought warms me. And her hand passes through the butterfly. But I'm afraid I cannot keep it.
Can I put it somewhere for you?
Hide it somewhere in the library, and I shall gaze upon it every so often.
All right.
She looks like this tall woman in her 40s. She has like lines, crow's feet on her eyes. There's just something like she knows. Knows too much behind those eyes. And she says, "What is your name, mortal?"
Nikamund. Nikamund the Red.
Welcome. The library. You may call me Vitruvia.
Juvia.
Your destiny is troubled, but you shall survive. Do not lose faith, Nikomund the Red.
Faith in what?
Yourself and your friends. You watch out for them. This is good. Continue to do so. Your journeys are important in the fabric of things. Goodbye. And she just sort of drifts away.
Nikamund will quickly look around the bookshelves nearest to him, and he'll look for the dustiest books that no one's touched in the longest time.
They'll be like really high up.
Nikamund will cast. Where is it? Nikamund will cast Levitate on himself. He'll look around real quick, and then he'll levitate up, and he'll put the butterfly on top of the dustiest books that no one's ever touched in years.
Very nice.
And then he comes back down.
There's almost like a pleasant happiness that sort of seems to fill you from no strange particular source as you just leave the butterfly there. Pretty. Got a new home now.
And he'll come back down and he'll attend Alice Dockery again, get back to the research.
And there is a lot of research. A lot of it is in languages you might not understand, but there's some that are, in which case Alice Dockery is just constantly reading at you, and at some point several, like maybe an attendant or a sage, come join him just to have an excuse to read some more books and explain them to you.
Okay, and Nikamund will burn all of his lucky and his inspiration to try and help understand and further the cause for the day.
All right, I shall take note of this. But let us shift the vision to something a lot more happening, where we're trying to get a meeting. Such are the joys of D&D. Over to our trio, Aryun, Galen, and Derek. You wander back out into the city proper. Where do you want to go?
Back to the palace.
Back to the palace. All right. You head back to the palace. And you see the same guards that were on duty are kind of like tired since it's been a couple hours, and they sort of look up. Oh, you're back. Did you leave something behind?
We need to. Who would I talk to about scheduling an audience with the Caliph's wife?
I will get the attendant for you. You'll have to go to the waiting room again.
Mm.
I'm sure you know the way there.
Thank you.
You go to the waiting room again, and there's an attendant, and then there's an attendant senior that comes by, be like, "Oh, you want a meeting with the Katoon? Okay," and then they return. And eventually, there is what looks like this matronly woman with a hijab and this no-nonsense attitude about her that sort of comes down. I hear you want a meeting with the Khatun, Hayat Johar.
Yes, that is correct.
Very well. What is your name and purpose?
My name is Sir Galen Vandenberg. She was supposed to have a meeting with one of my compatriots, Mathieu de Clermont, and he has passed, and I have taken on his duties.
Interesting. I remember this meeting. It was quite strange. We thought they had simply gotten lost in the desert on the way here. Tell me, what
No.
happened? Attacked. Unfortunate bandits ran amok. Or was it the Horde? Never mind. You would like a meeting? I can schedule one. How long of a meeting would you require?
I honestly do not know.
Okay, what would you be talking about? Your mission?
Yes.
I shall arrange a private meeting. With perhaps in 2 days' time, in the evening, she has some free time. You see, she sort of scrolls on some. She scribbles on some parchment, and she sort of arranges a meeting place with you. We'll put insert name here, and we'll figure out the details later. But it seems to be like a private sort of higher class tea house equivalent where she holds private meetings.
Sure.
You set that up?
Cool.
And how many people will be in attendance? Just you?
At least 2, if not 5.
I will put 5 as a conservative estimate then. Very well. If that is all.
Thank you, milady.
She very elegantly glides out, and your meeting is set for 2 days' time.
Perfect. Turn to the other two. I'm like, I think the only thing I really want to do at this point is buy a decoy.
Buy a decoy?
Yeah.
How do you buy a decoy?
He will wait until they're out of the palace before he explains. A similar looking chalice.
Oh, that I thought you meant a decoy for you.
No.
I would like to buy a person that looks exactly like me.
That's called slavery. We don't do that.
I also need to stop at the leathersmiths too.
That's
I
right.
need to sell some stuff and then go to the leathersmiths. But I need Fenric for that because he can get me the best coin.
Should have stolen him away while you could.
Yeah.
Galen, do you want to visit the bazaar of Baghdad, or do you want to go to the Bab al-Sham? One is closer.
Well, the bazaar is on our way back.
That's true.
Eventually, so we'll go to the one place, and then if I don't find what I need there, then I'll,
Very well.
Bazaar.
You head from the palace to the Bab al-Sham, the gate of Damascus, as it is known. And this district is rather unique, quite a marvel. I would say that's a bustling market. There's merchant, there's salesmen, there's shops with all kinds of goods. These are a little more permanent compared to the bazaar in Bazaar of Baghdad on the outskirts. And there's also houses sort of arranged with perfect, meticulous care and precision. And It's almost like somebody had a really grand design and they followed it to the letter. And people here seem to be thriving. There's one thing that sort of gives you pause is that there are plenty of refugees building up tents in whatever space that they can find within the city. And then some of these tents, especially in this area, seem to be actually working as like shops or merchant counters with lots of goods. And there are several interesting stores that you pass by. Question is, what are you looking for in particular?
Silver chalice.
Silver chalice. You walk by
Of a
first
size.
of a certain specific size. Are you thinking of just thrifting a chalice and then making it look similar, or
Looking for something that, should somebody open the box and verify contents, that it could pass with first or second glance.
okay, just a regular? There
Silver
are
chalice.
there are several like stalls of refugees where they're selling all manner of trinkets that you can find in between two shops. There is this row of what look like metal work that could probably hold something close to what you're looking for in between the blacksmith called the Seals of Kaf.
Something
And
of quality too.
something of quality. Well, you'd have to look around to find it. Have to start between the two shops, the Wonders of Beijing and the Steels of Kaf. You find this sort of small little flea market-esque thing of metal-specific items.
Can I give him the help action for his searching?
Yep, that would be good. Do you want investigation? Do you want perception? I'll let you choose.
Perception.
Okay.
So, let's see, actually. I do not have it. Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, perception, and help gives me advantage.
Yep.
Take it. Dirty 20.
Nice. All right. It takes you not as much time as you thought it would because there seems to be a merchant rather on the short side. In fact, he looks almost childlike. Similar stature to maybe Fenric, and he has this sort of like wooden crate where he has displayed like bracelets, burnished metal bracelets, some like steel cups that he has made himself, and among them there is something that sort of resembles a chalice that could pass for a similar height and weight of the one that you're looking for. And he sort of turns up to you and he goes, "Yes, hello, welcome. Would you like to get anything?"
How can I see that chalice there?
Yes, yes, best. I made handmade Zephyr's specialty.
Picks it up and kind of turns it around in his hands, assessing it. Do I
It
think
is
it
quite
would-
a similar weight, maybe a little bit lighter, some sort of not as heavy. It's definitely not as ornate, but the size could fit within the box.
Okay. Yeah, this'll
So-
this'll do nicely.
Perfect. Then you want to see anything else? Some jewelry for the lady friend? Some fancy brooches for the fancy tailor man? Yes?
He kind of looks over his shoulder at the two of them.
I'm fine. Thank you.
Are you sure this one matches perfectly with your eyes? Look, it
Do
shines
you have
in the
any
light.
charms that I could put in my hair?
Of course.
He pulls out a little box and he opens, and there's like beads and like little animal shapes sort of molded out of metal.
This one's very pretty, perfect for you. Look, look.
He sort of gestures for you to take the little wooden box.
How much for
Not
the?
expensive.
How much for 2 of the animals?
5 silver pieces.
Each?
Total.
Or for total? I will hand over 5 silver pieces for 2 animal charms.
You see, he sort of carefully wraps it, and I'd say, Derek, with your passive perception, there's something off about this guy beyond just that he's short. there's something in the way that his hands act as they're wrapping that makes you think either there's something off about what you're seeing or something else. Almost like there's another layer to what's going on here, but he sort of wraps it in this very nice think of a word, Manish. Come on. He wraps it in this sort of sackcloth, and then he ties with a piece of twine, but he ties it really nicely, so it's shitty material, but in a really nice way, as much as possible, and he gently holds it up to you, Arian.
For the pretty lady, 2 beads for 5 silver pieces. For the chalice, it shall also be 5 silver pieces. Deal with Zephyr? Yes?
He hands over 5 silver pieces.
Perfect.
And he also wraps it up really nicely, and he gives it to you.
Thank you, good sir.
On the note of something seems off, I want to use the side of the Gaib.
Yeah, you use the side of the gaib, and what it reveals to you makes you almost like pause for a second. There's clearly an illusion of a small statured man who might be sickly or ill, and below it is another creature entirely. Skin covered in scales, these big eyes, snout that comes to about
It's a
so.
kobold.
It's a kobold. And he sort of looks to you. Anything for the tailor?
No.
A
No,
fine
I
set
think.
of needles.
No, I think I'll be good.
Okay, well, if you need anything, I shall be here. Goodbye.
Awesome.
All right, you've acquired certain items.
Well, he was nice.
I charm in one on each side.
Uh-huh. They're really nice. Really well made.
He's
That was-
underpricing himself.
Definitely interesting.
How so? He's a little weird. He's a merchant, but like, you know.
I'm I'm not one to give away his secrets. We'll move on from that.
Just be glad I didn't put 3 of them in a trench coat, all right? Moving on. I've just had my voice described so calming like creepy salesman ASMR. I did not know that was a market.
There's a market for everything.
You do
There's a
now.
market for everything. How do you think you're gonna fund the channel?
Clearly with ASMR videos. Okay. We go back to the House of Wisdom, where Fenric, you are wandering around with your family and with Kala. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for? Your family is. You said something about your home.
Yeah, I figure if this is such a bastion of knowledge, maybe they might have something more on the heart of the Delta that exploded and is now embedded in my face.
Think you and Calder will work on that. Your parents are get distracted by their own specific like interests that they have. One is a jeweler, one is an inventor, and they absolutely go crazy.
They start looking around for different techniques, and it's like, oh, but what if we incorporated this, and oh, it would be so beautiful.
And the 2 of them are just like talking in their own language, clearly on a different level, as they pore over these books together. The language of love, people. And you and Kala, however, go wandering around. You start with the geographical section. Give me an investigation or a perception.
All right.
See how well this goes.
Well, I am moderate at both of them, so I will try a investigation. Yeah, that's a 7.
Go ahead and add a d6 on behalf of Kala's help.
That's a 9.
9. Okay. You are in this hall with like 30-foot long ceilings. There's like a 60-foot radius, like hall. It's massive. Literally everything that you can imagine can be found here. There's scholars and researchers, some with various different kinds of tools. You see some people with navigator's tools trying to figure out cartography in a corner. There's somebody with a herbalist kit that is like being taught by somebody else. And somebody with an abacus is clearly practicing some kind of arithmetic under the tutelage of a sage. I would say with a 9, you find it difficult to find what you're looking for. You try really hard, and at this point there's no like veteran scholars or anybody that approaches you to sort of offer assistance at this time because they seem fairly occupied. And you do not find anything beyond like a few maps where there is a village marked. Beyond that, there's some casual borderline knowledge, but there's nothing about the gem, the heart of the Delta, anything specifically tied to it that you're looking for in the halls of Rashid. You figure if it's magical knowledge, you might have to go to one of the more like exclusive chambers or ask for help from someone else.
And it's definitely not something I would like to openly ask somebody about. So, thinking as we're looking around, I'm just kind of overwhelmed by the sheer number of different books and knowledge on display. And it's like randomly pick one up as I'm distracting myself from my own search. Oh, look at this. It says something about the first sandwich.
Yup, it's a very important discovery. Son of a bitch, made me choke. But yes, it's a book of cookery where they discover the first or the origins of every kind of basic staple food, like sandwiches.
I have to leave my mark somehow.
You certainly try.
But yeah, I don't know. As after looking around for a while, I'll just kind of, look over Colin, be like, is there anything that you would like to try to look for, try to find? I mean, this is such a interesting opportunity.
Well, I kind of thought there might be. I mean, beyond the regular books, I'm kind of thinking of looking into if there is some books on magic. She says quietly to you, though I think that might be rare. Perhaps I'll just settle for alchemy. A more worthwhile pursuit.
Yeah. I think I think both of them are good. After all, you never, you wake up one day and the next you have something embedded in your body and you have crazy magical powers that you don't know what to do with.
That joke is getting old, Fenric. But yes, life is short. Pardon my pun.
Well, I think it would be worth a look to see what we could find.
I think so too.
They might have something.
This is terrible.
I don't know. They might have something down here in the public area. Maybe someone misplaced a book or hid something in a shelf.
Trust you to get into trouble in a public library. I am going to read this book. And she just sort of walks away. Clearly somewhat frustrated, but not really truly. It's part of the game that you have between the two of you. You have several hours that you spend, and by the time mid-afternoon comes around, they start closing certain parts of the library. You see most of the people start leaving for evening meals and all of that. Once the sun sets, it gets a little bit more difficult. There are some dedicated scholars that sit with that lamp of fireflies lighting their books, but a lot more of them return their materials and leave the House of Wisdom. And around then, Istakri would also rub his eyes and say, I think that is enough for one day, Master Nikomund. I must rest my eyes before we continue.
One question real quick. Is there a big room of fireflies in this place? And they just go in and get them as they need them?
You know, there are many small nooks and crannies in the House of Wisdom. It could be possible. I have never found it myself, but if you wish to make that your life's goal, I'm sure Vitruvia would love to help you.
Well, I was just curious. I mean, they all have these lanterns of fireflies, and where are they all coming from? Are they breeding fireflies back in the back section, or are the fireflies magical?
Perhaps.
Are they paying kids to go outside and catch fireflies? I was just curious.
Nicoman, you fascinate me. You always ask the right questions. You have a nose about these things. We will make a proper scholar out of you yet.
All right, that was.
We'll start with ancient Greek. That will be tomorrow,
Okay.
after we've had some tea.
All right.
You all head out. You and Fenric and his family meet at the entrance hall. Around then, the three of you could gather around by the entrance as well. You run into each other as if fated, with some information, a couple more questions, and a lot of the city still to explore. So make some plans before next session. Figure out what you want, and if you have anything you want to do in the downtime, you know how to get to me. Message me. Because these mysteries won't solve themselves. Get to work, people. That is all I have
I'd
for
like
you
to
today.
explore the city and find a djinn that took over someone's poor, body and is wreaking havoc.
Could be possible. It's gonna be a very difficult investigation check. Can you roll a 30? And if yes, then you find it right off the bat.
I can get to a 25.
I'll consider it. But
I can do a 28.
better.
What if I throw in a wild magic surge?
I'm listening. Yep.
And like that, we are kicked out of Baghdad.
Right?
Imagine wild magic surging inside the House of Wisdom and accidentally setting fire to the books.
Oh, that would be bad.
Yep.
You know,
Executions would be the least of your worries, I would say.
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if one of the ones in that new table you have would do like a fireball at my feet or something. I haven't looked through
No,
the whole
it
table.
doesn't do it at your feet. You just cast fireball. So it's actually better than it used to be, which was at your feet.
But after the last time the wild magic surge happened and I became a dandelion faced smurf, we swapped tables. It's no
Yeah.
longer using the 24 table, it's a custom table that has
I made a
Ah.
special
special result.
I
And
spent
so
time.
it's a lot nastier than it used to be. And I haven't looked through the whole thing because I don't want to ruin it for myself. 'Cause it's an entirely new table. It's
You
not
never
just
roll tens
here's the
enough.
table updated.
Roll more wild magic so I can introduce more chaos.
I mean, if you want, I could force it, but we tend to be inside of cities a lot.
Well, that was the campaign.
I mean, there's nothing saying since you modified his wild magic roll that it doesn't trigger when he uses cantrips.
I love the way you think. Feed me more. Give me the knife with which to stab you. I love it. This has been Quest and Jazz. Thank you to everybody who has been joining and listening to us. We shall call it here for today. If you liked our brand of content and you want to see somebody else in the DM chair, a whole different campaign set in Warhammer Fantasy World with a group of misfits, the Neverchosen, trying to save the world from the Everchosen. I know, we're so good at this naming thing. Join us on Wednesday, same time, same bat channel. Thank you to everybody that has joined. Just in case you did not hear before, we are raising money for Extra Life. So if at any time you have a little bit of extra money, just a little bit of dollars left over, and you want to give it to the children of Mac. Nope, I've forgotten it. Mac Children's
I mean, you
Hospital
were there. Yeah.
in Hamilton, Ontario, and it goes to procedures and other things that they might require. None of the money is handled by us. It goes directly through to Extra Life and their website. if you got a little bit extra, help us get to that 4 hundo as part of the Goblin Tuesday charity fundraising team that we're doing for a year. We have 103 days left, so time's a ticking. Other than that, check out Nikuman, who is a blacksmith in real life, not just. Yes, actually, 2 of our group are Canadians. Canadians wave at the camera. There you go. Azrael does TikToks. Azrael, what's your TikTok name?
There's a link down below.
There you go. He does TikToks. Some of them are Canadian, some of them are D&D related. Always chuckle at the very least. And Springer does blacksmithing knives in particular. He has some really gorgeous pieces out that you can customize if you so desire. Go ahead and give him a check. See if you like it.
They are beautiful, and they cut amazing. I actually
They
have
are worthy craft of the House of Wisdom. I'll say that.
yeah. I have 2 with me right now.
I have one.
I've got a nice big one. I have a kitchen knife, and I also have a spatula. All of
You can
Oh,
do
that's
custom
right,
knives.
spatula.
Yes, the spatula works fantastic with my cast iron pans.
Yeah, I gotta make more of the spatulas. See what always happens
It's
is
so good.
I'll make a bunch of something, and then I'll sit on them for the longest time, and I'll sell one here or there over a long time. At the moment they're all gone, I'll get 10 people come up to me and say, "Hey, do you have any more spatulas left?" It happens every single time.
This is why you should do request orders. Oh well. It's fated. Anyways, you can also find Jensen and me on other channel known as Crit Crafters. Jensen, where can they see you? Which days?
You'll see me Wednesdays. Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, and then for a couple more Thursdays as we wind down with the Ember beta.
That is a new world setting where we shall be doing the last episode and then a little wrap up session where we talk about the system of Ember. We tried the Crucible system and the D&D system both. So if you want to see a cool new place, it is really cool.
Actually,
Go
Fox
check
is right. Our final session is this Thursday.
So come
So-
say hi. If you want to see me be a snake lady. And what else? You can find
Make it
me.
say.
I'll be playing another Warhammer campaign, all against my will, I promise. I play it all on Crit Crafters. That's all I have. Do we have a rate?
Yes, we are looking at someone we follow called Nature Claus, who is a turtle DM.
Fated.
And they are
Yeah,
currently
Turtle DM or Eternal?
turtle.
I need to know more immediately.
Well,
Turtle.
we're gonna rate him.
Go say hi and tell them who sent you.
Yep.
Y'all have a good day.
Hit the button. A few more seconds and it's gonna go. Yeah, they've got the tag of Twitch of turtle.
That's awesome.
Interesting. Now, if he cosplays as a turtle, done.
That will be awesome.
There's a kobold monk named Philippe.
Yeah.
That's everything.
And there's a Turtle DM.
And there's a turtle DM. That's all.